10 and wondering what you should study for the HSC?
No idea what you want to do for a job yet and trying to figure out a subject that might be good?
Do you care about the planet, the people, societies?
I do.
Well, we have a course for you.
It's called Senior Geography.
Amazing. This video is all about why you should study Senior Geography in Year 11. We're going to look at the topics that you study.
We're going to look at what uni courses it might get you into.
And the jobs that you could go into if you want to continue your path of geography like we have for your whole life.
I did, yeah, exactly. It's going to be great. Let's go get to it.
Why study Senior Geography? There are so many reasons. Before we get into your exact topics, what are some of the main reasons people should pick Senior Geography?
Well, Senior Geography is a very diverse topic. We look at both people and the environment and the interaction between the two. So we might be looking at volcanoes one week, we might be looking at migration another week.
We look at places all around the world. We do so many different case studies. We do field work. We go on lots of excursions. Geography is just an all-around very diverse and fun subject.
One of my favourite things about it is a subject that teaches us how to think about the world and really try to figure out what's true and what's not.
By the time you finish with geography, you're going to have much better critical thinking skills and you're going to be a much more empathetic person that understands the world around them.
That's true.
Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is take you through all of the topics that we study in Year 11 and Year 12. Starting with Year 11, we have 2 topics, but then within each topic there are a little couple of subtopics. The first topic that we do is one of our favourites. It's called Population Geography.
Population is one of my absolutely favourite things to teach in Year 11. It's a great way to start the Senior Geo course. In population, we do everything about population, why the population grows, why it slows down, why some countries have high birth rates, high fertility rates, high death rates, movement of people between places. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, really good discussions to be had in Population Geography.
Definitely. Part 2 after population is development. I know it's your favourite.
I love development geography. It's a really cool way to learn about different countries around the world. We look at the difference between high developed and low developed countries, the rate of development around the world, and then we look at case studies of low economically developed countries and the challenges people face within those countries. It's very interesting.
Sounds like fun.
Topic number 3 is political geography.
Well, political geography is not something like you've ever done in previous years in geography. It's something completely new in terms of human geography. It is really about how different nations either get along with each other or fall into conflict with each other, how that conflict is started and how that conflict is stopped. We look at a bit of a case study in terms of Northern Ireland. We look at Brexit as a political issue. It's almost a little bit of modern history in the geography course. It's very unique.
Great topic.
Very
a
interesting.
lot of good discussion and debate to be had
So
there too.
good. Yeah, definitely. After Year 11, that was all the human geography. Then we move on to the physical geography in the second half of the year in biophysical interactions.
Biophysical interactions is broken into 5 parts. The first thing we do is look at 4 spheres. Our Earth is made up of 4 spheres and we look at each one in detail. The first one is the atmosphere.
I know this is your personal favourite sphere.
It's my favourite sphere.
So the atmosphere, definitely. So the atmosphere is obviously looking at all of the atmosphere around us, the natural processes in the atmosphere, like the natural greenhouse effect, how the atmosphere is comprised, what makes it up, and all that sort of stuff, but also then how humans have a very large impact on the processes in the atmosphere. So
we look at climate change, we look at CFCs, or chlorofluorocarbons, which I was still very saying, and all of the ways that human activities change in our environment.
After that, we move on to sphere 2, which is the hydrosphere.
The hydrosphere is about all of the water in our Earth, including the water droplets in our atmosphere, right down to our lakes, our rivers, and our streams. We again look at the water cycle as a process, and then we look at how humans impact on water through the pollution that we put into it, as well as the way that we dam rivers and change those ecosystems through human activity.
Those damn rivers.
And now to Mr. Cizzio's favourite sphere. The third one we do is the lithosphere.
It is so good. Lithosphere. The lithosphere is essentially the ground under our feet, the Earth's crust, and really everything that's beneath it. So we look at plate tectonics, continental drift, how the continents break up and move apart, slide together. Look at earthquakes, look at volcanoes, look at the Earth's mantle and its effect on the surface layer of the Earth. We look at the asthenosphere. Asthenosphere.
We also look at human impacts and the way that desertification is impacting on communities in the Sahel region of Africa.
And that's, to be clear, that's about how a lot of these people in Africa don't have dessert to eat. Fourth sphere, very important because it involves all three others to make it possible, is the biosphere.
I love your sphere as well because it involves all of our animals, all of our plants, everything that is living, our biotic features. We look at how plants are distributed around the world, we look at food webs and food chains, and then we go into human impact. So we look at the impact of poaching and hunting on ecosystems and on food webs. We look at wildlife tourism, we look at zoos, some have a positive impact, some have a negative impact. We might talk about Tiger King this year. Probably.
OMG. Why not?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol from Big Cat Rescue.
That's year 11 done, 3 terms. It's now time to start year 12 and the HSC.
Get excited.
The first HSC topic is quite a big one. It's broken into smaller topics, and that is called urban places. The first thing we study in urban places is urban dynamics.
Urban dynamics is a study of how cities, large or small, change over time. So we look at the similarities between a place like New York and like Newcastle, because there's a lot of the factors that change the cities are largely the same, even on different scales.
We then do a case study of how what we call urban dynamics are changing a large city in the developed world. For that case study, we look at Sydney.
Sydney as well. We then move on and do a smaller case study of what we in the syllabus, it's a small country town or suburb, and we go to Morpeth, very close to the school.
First fieldwork for year 12, we go out to Morpeth and we spend half a day out there looking at how it's changed over time. The next
Did you know Morpeth used to be the second biggest town in New South Wales?
I did.
You did.
But they may not have.
Maybe not, but it was.
The next thing we do is look at megacities, the opposite of Morpeth, basically. And megacity is a city that has more than 10 million people.
10 million. So we look at, because these megacities are basically all in the developing world, so we look at the challenges of living in a megacity and how people in those megacities have responded to those challenges to try and improve their lives and the towns around them.
That's Cizzio's favourite part of this topic. My favourite part is next, which is called world cities. World cities don't necessarily have 10 million people, but they are the control and command centres of the global economy. They have cultural and economic authority. They're very important, and it's where a lot of our decisions are made.
And these are cities that most of you will have either been to in the past or definitely go to in the future. So understanding how they impact on both culture of the world and economically in the world is a very important topic.
And that is urban places.
Urban places.
So that's our first topic ticked off, as well as our human geography topic ticked off. Now we're moving on to our physical geography. The first topic we do for physical geography is ecosystems at risk.
Ecosystems at risk is a very topical topic, if that makes sense. It is in the news a lot. It is all about human impacts on environments. Particularly, we look at what makes particular environments either vulnerable to change or resilient to change.
The first thing we do is look at ecosystems generally, what it means for an ecosystem to be vulnerable or to be resilient, and some of the human impacts that occur in ecosystems.
So we do 2 large case studies in this ecosystems at risk topic. Our first one is the Great Barrier Reef.
Does that look familiar to you, Cizzio?
It does. I remember seeing this somewhere.
Is that you?
I think it is. No, that's a total.
Same.
I was there too.
The point we're getting at here, guys, is if you do senior geography at Maitland Gosman High School, you will get to come with us to the Great Barrier Reef for one of your fieldwork excursions. Best excursion ever. So good.
Snorkeling on the reef, scuba diving on the reef, boating, glass bottom boat, swimming with turtles, education as well. We have a whole classroom set up out there as well. It's just the best excursion I've ever been on.
Once we've done the Great Barrier Reef, we then do the intertidal wetlands, and specifically we look at the Hunter wetlands as a case study. Also get to go there for fieldwork for a day.
Some say it's just as good.
Some say, I think you've said in the past, that the Hunter wetlands is the Great Barrier Reef of Newcastle.
Some people have said that about Ash Island in particular. Ash Island, the Great Barrier Reef of Newcastle.
Both really great case studies, really interesting topic, great way to look at how environments are changing. Topic number 3 in Year 12 is people and economic activity. For this one at Maitland Grossman, we look at viticulture.
So this topic is all about picking a type of industry, viticulture, growing grapes to make wine, and looking at both how the environment affects that industry and how that industry affects the environment.
Once we look at that generally, we go into a really specific case study of what we call an enterprise or business. And we go out to Tamburlaine Winery. Big shout out to Tamburlaine. They're fantastic. They give us great resources. We have a great day out there at Tamburlaine. Really another opportunity to get out of the classroom and into the field.
This one, again, we've gone now through a human geography topic in urban places, a physical geography topic in ecosystems at risk. And this is almost like it's a human and environmental, and it's almost a little bit business and economics as well. So you can see there's a really big mix, one topic to the next, of the topics we kind of do in geography in Year 12.
There's one more topic we need to talk about today, and that topic is geographical skills. It runs all the way through Year 11 and Year 12.
This isn't a standalone unit like the others that we do in one particular part of the year. It is embedded into every other topic that we do, and you would have been doing a lot of these skills all the way since Year 7. We've got things like latitude and longitude, grid and area references, scale,
Synoptic charts.
And you might
Born to be a weather girl.
You'd be good at it. And the thing about this is, you may have seen some videos on YouTube that actually explain how to do all of these skills.
Are there geographers teaching this stuff on YouTube?
I believe there's a specific channel where, and it's
Check out the videos.
It's online. They explain geography online.
Geography explained online?
That sounds familiar.
We have so many resources. We love skills. We do so many extra sessions. We have videos. If you're not super confident with skills, you will be by the time you get to your HSC, I promise.
Yeah, and this is a good break because in the HSC itself, 20 marks or up to 20 marks of the HSC exam are these skill topics that we do, which can save you a bit of writing in the exam itself. So now that we've finished talking about what's in the Year 11 and 12 course, just want to talk briefly about what kind of uni courses that might lead you to.
There are so many directions you can go in the world of geography if you want to follow on with that into university. When I went to university, I loved geography obviously, so I studied a Bachelor of Science, and I majored in physical geography, which is just studying about the environment and our biophysical environment, and geology. I also, while I was there, did some courses in environmental law, which is also a really interesting avenue that you can take your geography studies if you want to.
So I did a double degree in arts education, which is what most teachers do. And as part of that double degree, I did things like earth and environmental science, Earth's dynamic systems, which is a bit physical geography, but I also did a couple of business courses too, which really helped me to understand the people and economic activity component of the geography HSC course. So doing that actually helps you out if you want to go into like a business direction as well. It can be a real help for that as well.
Interestingly, whatever course you want to go into at university, there are a lot of things that you're going to learn in senior geography that will help you. Essay writing skills and research skills are going to be really important to any course that you decide to do.
Absolutely. There's a lot of field work and group work and stuff involved in a lot of uni courses, and doing the field work and going out and investigating things for yourself and learning how to evaluate the credibility of sources and really figure out what's true and what isn't is just a vital skill both for university and for life in general.
As you can see, there are so many opportunities to take geography further than just Year 11 and 12 into university, as well as into a lot of different occupations and jobs.
So we've come up with a bit of a challenge. What we're going to do, almost like a game of cards, a game of Snap.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're going to see if we can name as many jobs that a geography degree or an education in geography might lead into as we can. We'll go 1, 4, and see who fails first.
You can start.
Okay, are you ready? Okay. Meteorologist.
Environmental scientist.
City planner.
Environmental lawyer. Like Marshall on How I Met Your Mother. 2 points, a good example.
That's not 2 points. There's no 2 points. That's not
Keep
a
going,
rule.
you're losing.
You just made me lose my train of thought. Civil engineer.
Nice one. Working in mining as an environmental consultant.
Environmental impact manager.
Geography teacher.
That's obvious.
What did we do with our geography degree?
Yeah, but that's a bit. Weatherman.
Or
woman. Weather woman. Weather person.
Working in politics. That's what I did before I came into teaching. So you can work, a lot of fields in politics.
Climatologist.
Environmental lobbyist.
Oceanographer.
Ooh. Marine biologist.
That's an oceanographer. They're the same thing.
I think they're different.
Oh, well, as long as you think that. Mayor of his town.
Working with the United Nations in development and aid. I got a great one.
Viticulturalist.
Cartographer. Make maps. People still make maps.
They don't make maps.
They do.
They just go on Google. It's not.
Oh, I've got another great one. Go, your turn.
What did I just say? What was my last one?
Viticulturalist.
Viticulturalist.
That was a good one.
Thank you very much. Council worker.
Excellent. Working with GIS to map out
That's a
impacts of climate
cartographer.
change.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, meh.
Yeah, it's still mapping. It's still cartographer.
Not by 2.
You know what? By 2.
I gave an example.
Well, then marine biologist like George Costanza pretended to be in Seinfeld. All right, done. We're even now. Is it my turn? I think it's my turn. Okay. Volcanologist.
Military. A lot of people with geography degrees, or people that go into the military, become an officer by doing geography degrees because of the mapping skills.
That's you basically said just mapping 3 times.
Military is a completely different job to drawing maps.
Oh, here's a map, but this time you have a gun. That's the only difference. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't like to lose.
It's because I've never done it before, so.
Get ready.
Let's see.
3.
No, there's no time.
2.
No, there's no time on this.
1. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Zoologist.
Make sure you pick geography
Zoologist.
for year 11 and
Botanist.
12.
I'm up by 1.
By year 11,
Looks like
12,
I
it's a
won.
great topic. It's going to teach you so much. You're going to have a great time. Even if you're not at Maitland Grossman High School, wherever you are, pick geography because it's going to make you a better person.
Obviously, we're a little bit biased, but honestly, it is such a fantastic topic.
We're biased, but do it.
Yeah. And it is one of the things that I've found students love about it is very, very different one topic to the next. So if one topic you don't find super interesting, the next week we could do something entirely different. It keeps you guessing, keeps you on your feet, and it keeps you thinking about new ways to look at the world around us.
See you later, year 10. All the best for picking your subjects.